Imagine diving deep beneath the surface of our world, far below the crust and mantle, down to the very heart of the planet. Here, at the iron core, reality is squeezed into a realm of pure density and unimaginable pressure. It is a place of crystalline order, where atoms are packed so tightly there is no room to move, no space to breathe. Everything is compressed into a single unyielding point of existence. In this world, there is no freedom, no direction, only the relentless force of gravity pulling ever inward. Time and space seem to vanish, replaced by a singular, unbreakable unity. Now, picture a sudden shift. A crack forms in the core and you tumble through, emerging into the mythical hollow earth, a realm whispered about in legends and dreams. Here the world is transformed. Instead of crushing density, you find vast, echoing caverns, shimmering with light from walls studded with radiant crystals and rare minerals. Stalactites hang like frozen lightning, and underground rivers carve secret paths through the darkness. Elemental beings, creatures of earth, air, and fire dance in the glowing shadows. In this second dimension, space unfurls. Movement becomes possible. Life, complexity, and even magic begin to stir. The contrast is stark. The core's one-dimensional existence is pure, relentless compression, a story with only one note. But the second dimension is an invitation. It opens up new directions, new possibilities. Suddenly there is room to explore, to create, to interact. Complexity is born, and with it the first sparks of wonder. As we journey from the core's singularity to the hollow world's expanse, we begin to see how each dimension adds a vital layer to reality. Our adventure through the dimensions starts here, at the threshold between the unyielding and the infinite, between silence and symphony. Let's step inside and discover what waits just beyond the core. Imagine your entire existence confined to a single, infinite line. No up, no down, no left or right, only forward and backward. Every being and object is just a point on this line, sliding along a predetermined path. You can only interact with those directly in front of or behind you. Privacy is impossible. Communication is a chain reaction. Messages must pass through every point in between. There are no alternate routes, no detours. A traffic jam means you're stuck until the point ahead moves. Life is a relentless sequence of direct encounters, with no room for nuance or deviation. Shapes like circles or squares are meaningless. Only line segments exist. Art is a sequence of dots and dashes, music a rhythm of vibrations along the line. This universe is stripped to its essence, pure length, pure sequence. There's no texture, no depth, just a story told one word at a time. By stripping away the dimensions we take for granted, we begin to appreciate what they give us. Each new dimension adds complexity, freedom, and potential. The one-dimensional world is our baseline, a starting point for the universe's intricate structure. It forces us to ask, if a one-dimensional being can't conceive of our world, what dimensions might exist that we cannot perceive? The journey to understanding reality begins here, on this simple, lonely line. Let's take the next step. In physics, the first dimension is pure simplicity, length without breadth or depth. String theory proposes that the universe's fundamental building blocks are not points, but one-dimensional strings of energy. Each string vibrates at a unique frequency, creating the particles and forces of nature. Reality, at its core, is vibration, energetic information encoded on a line. This scientific view echoes spiritual traditions, where creation begins from a singular source, a line of pure potential. Both science and spirituality describe a foundational layer of reality, simple, unified, and full of possibility. One uses mathematics, the other metaphysics, but both seek the same truth. From the simplest beginning, all the richness of the cosmos emerges. The line is not just geometry, it's a symbol of origin. Now let's see what happens when we add another dimension. Now imagine giving our one-dimensional being a new gift width. Suddenly the universe is a flat plane, an infinite sheet of paper. Movement is no longer just forward and backward, but also left and right. Obstacles can be avoided, shapes can be formed. Circles, squares, mosaics. Communication expands, messages travel directly across the plane, not just along a line. Art becomes drawings and patterns, homes become enclosed spaces with true privacy. Rotation and boundaries emerge. A circle on the plane is a perfect prison for a two-dimensional being. The second dimension is about structure, boundaries, and complex relationships. Spiritually, this leap represents the birth of duality. Light and dark, self and other, inside and outside. The unified line splits, creating a surface for the drama of existence. Polarity and reflection are born. one can now see another and see oneself. The plane is the canvas for all relationships and opposites. The world has opened up in ways unimaginable before. Let's explore how science and spirit both embrace this new dimension. Science has discovered true two-dimensional realities, like graphene, a single layer of carbon atoms stronger than steel and nearly weightless. Quantum physics often relies on two-dimensional models. Our screens and digital technology are built on two-dimensional grids. The second dimension is the backbone of our information age. Spiritually, sacred geometry uses two-dimensional patterns, mandalas, the flower of life, as blueprints of creation and tools for meditation. Both scientist and monk explore the power and meaning of the plane. One builds technology, the other builds self-awareness, but both recognize the creative order of two-dimensional space. The plane is more than a surface. It's a source of profound order and possibility. Plato's allegory of the cave offers a powerful analogy. Prisoners see only shadows, mistaking them for reality. Our three-dimensional world casts shadows, projections of a deeper reality. Blueprints and X-rays are flat images that reveal complex structures. Could our universe be a shadow of a higher dimensional reality? Spiritual traditions map hidden energies, ley lines, sacred geometry, seeking order beneath the surface. Ancient maps blended geography with cosmology, connecting land to the heavens. Both science and spirituality use the plane to reveal hidden patterns. The impulse is the same, to find structure beneath the noise. What if reality is always deeper than what we see? Understanding dimensions changes how we think and live. One-dimensional thinking is rigid, one path, one answer, no alternatives. Problems seem like immovable walls, you're stuck on the line. Two-dimensional thinking adds perspective, multiple sides, creative solutions. Obstacles become opportunities to go around, not just push through. This mindset fosters strategy, empathy, and resilience. Mindfulness is stepping off the line, observing thoughts from the side, creating space. Arguments shift from win-lose to finding common ground. The geometry of our thoughts shapes our reality. By moving from one-dimensional to two-dimensional thinking, we open ourselves to possibility. The way we think is as important as what we think. Let's experience this shift firsthand. Close your eyes and imagine your consciousness shrinking to a single dimensionless point, pure awareness, no size or shape. Now, stretch out in one direction, becoming a line of light, a one-dimensional being, aware only of before and behind. Feel the clarity and simplicity of this existence. Next, expand sideways, sweeping into a plane. You gain width, perceiving a vast expanse. Move forward, back, left and right, see patterns and shapes emerge. Now feel a new movement up, rise off the plane, expanding into the third dimension. Look down at the world you left its boundaries, now trivial lines. Regain your sense of depth and volume. Take a deep breath, return to your three-dimensional body, and open your eyes. Remember the line and the plane, they're always with you. Each new dimension brings new freedom. In 1884, Edwin Abbott's Flatland tells of A Square, a two-dimensional being visited by a sphere from the third dimension. To A Square, the sphere appears as a circle, growing and shrinking as it passes through Flatland. The concept of up is unimaginable to A Square. He cannot conceive of a third dimension. Only when lifted out of his plane does he perceive the truth. The story is a lesson in humility. Even the intelligent can't imagine realities just beyond their perception. We too trust our senses and science, but what if we're the Flatlanders? Higher dimensions could exist, invisible to us, just as the third dimension is to Flatland. A being from a higher dimension could see inside any room, any object, just as the sphere could in Flatland. The analogy reminds us, our perception is not the entirety of reality. It urges wonder and cautions against arrogance. What we can measure is not all that exists. With each new dimension, the universe gains complexity, freedom, and potential. A point becomes a line becomes a plane becomes our world. This progression is the story of creation unfolding complexity from simplicity. Science and spirituality both seek to describe this geometry of existence. Recognizing these parallels fosters a more integrated worldview. Exploring dimensions invites humility and curiosity. Our senses are limited, our understanding incomplete. Just as Flatlanders can't conceive of up, we may not perceive higher realities. This is cause for wonder, not despair. The universe is stranger than we can imagine. See the potential in a line, the reality behind a shadow, the extra dimension in a problem. The journey doesn't end with 3 dimensions. The next dimension is waiting. Keep questioning, keep exploring. Reality is always deeper than it seems. Join us here at Fusion of Knowledge TV as we continue to explore the bridge between science and spirituality, including such topics as multidimensionality. Thank you for watching.